Yo guys, welcome back. Today once again we are talking about Serena. With her being the best Descendant by a lot, it is hard to not talk about her and continue to cover her builds, and with the component cores providing HP, no one benefits more from this than her. Today we are covering every build for her, so that will include Purge 30, Purge Challenge, Ice Maiden Challenge, and a General Mobbing build, which is just a variation of the Purge Challenge build. There's going to be a lot here, because different weapons and situations require different weapon mods and arcade tuning trees, so please bear with me. As always, you can find me live every day on Twitch, so if you have further questions about these builds or any other builds, stop by the stream. Happy to answer all questions. Link is in the description. With that out of the way, let's get into it. So we will be starting out with the Serena build for Ice Maiden Challenge. Now, this is different from the normal Ice Maiden because Ice Maiden in this mode is immune to all debuffs. You get less skill power for breaking parts, so a gun build has become the meta again for this certain circumstance. As far as this mode in general, I just want to give my thoughts. One-time rewards in a looter shooter is just bad. I do not agree with it. I do not promote even playing this mode. I think in general, the way they have set it up is very sloppy. One-time rewards is very sloppy, but I will provide a build for everybody because people keep asking and people want to get a gun. I guess they want the little bit of cores that you get, but I would suggest go run Purge 30. Now, as far as the build, anti-freeze solution is very important here because she will be spamming skills that freeze you. You do not want to get frozen. You want to be in the air. You want to be shooting the whole time. This will be a 4 to 6 minute fight in a good fight. You're going to have your 2 HP mods here. You do not want stim accelerant as you're going to need your MP to stay in the air. You're going to want your 2 duration mods, maximize duration with skill extension, then your 2 cooldown mods, MP conversion with nimble fingers, and multi-talented, and then we're running 2 skill cost mods with maximize conservation and strong mentality. Like I said, we want to make sure we are in the air. With multi-talented, you do not have to worry about too much with keeping this up, as your 3 and your 4 are the abilities you will mostly be using, and they both proc the cooldown on it. Now, for your reactor, the important thing here is cooldown and duration up. We do not care about our mounting. We do not care about our skill power boost ratio. We're doing damage with our guns and her 4th ability, which scales off of HP. And speaking of HP, we are running the Ascending Armory set. These are all going to give the most HP you can get on components. And on top of that, we have rolled max HP on the new cores. As you can see, we're sitting at 33,000 HP here. If you want to roll a defensive stat, I would just suggest going defense. Now, for your arcade tuning, this is very specific to this build. We will be showing many arcade tunings here. This one is going to be very specific as we are going into multi-hit and then we are going into firearm attack. We are not using defense neutralization because you can only proc that when the enemy is at full health and it lasts 15 seconds. This fight is not 15 seconds. It is a 4 to 6 minute fight. Now, for your inversion reinforcement, we are going, of course, fire focus rounds. We are going with aerial maneuvering radar. And I have selected selective neurostimulation. If you're confident that you will not run out of MP, the other option here would be strike point amplification. I would make sure though that you are very comfortable with not running out of MP before you swap. And now we will roll through the weapons. I will not be talking much here. We will just scroll through all the weapons, the substats, the cores, and the mods. And just a quick add-on to this, I have chosen to go Restored Relic. There's some other things you would do. I would just say take a weapon that does not use general rounds for the sake of ammo. We are using the Ascending set for ammo. I do like the Restored Relic because at a distance, you can just spam this. You get tons of ammo during the fight, high power rounds. Other options could be a shotgun or Greg's. The only thing with Greg's is when she's moving around, you won't really get much damage out with that. Now we're going to our normal Ice Maiden build, and this is going to be the crit skill build, which we have run before. Nothing has changed here since previous videos. If you are looking for more of a tutorial of how the fight is done, that link will be down in the description. Now here, your reactor does matter. You do want the right mounting, you want fire in singular, and you want skill critical hit damage with an additional skill attack when attacking Colossus. And here we have gone with a 2-piece plague. Even though 2-piece plague is not going to make or break the build, you can put something else here. It is going to be your best option for the singular skill power. And then you're going to want the shell crusher for the fire rate. And once again, we have rolled max HP cores on all of these pieces. Now, going into the RK tuning, once again, this is very specific to this build. It's a shame we only have 3 RK tuning slots. For this, we are taking RK reload for the skill critical hit rate after we reload. So if you want to make sure you are reloading within a 15-second window of when you will be killing the boss. And over here, we have taken defensive neutralization. This is very, very good in Ice Maiden, specifically for this fight, because adding more skill power will not really help your build, but this will a lot. And now for your inversion reinforcement, we are going with fire focus rounds, aerial maneuvering radar, and strike point amplification. And now we go over our weapons, which is going to be restored relic, triple fire rate, fire attack cores. This is a multi-hit build. This is used for breaking the parts when you first enter the fight, so you can get the full skill damage buff. And then after that, we have our smithereens with our fire rate, firearm attack cores. Once again, a multi-hit build here, as we are using this to proc our skill damage with our first and second ability. And now we go into our Purge Challenge stage build. And the mods for this, for Purge Challenge and Purge 30, are going to be the same now. We're going to be utilizing MP Collector with Multi-Talented and dropping in the Passionate Sponsor build. So we're running our 2 HP mods, our 2 cooldown mods, and then we have Multi-Talented for the rest of the cooldown, mainly for our 4th ability. And for our dash, we're running our 1 range mod with maximized range, and then 2 duration mods with maximized duration and skill extension, and then a maximized conservation mod for our skill cost. And this is going to keep us in the air the whole time we're running, which is perfect for this, especially since they nerfed the bug that we had with the wings. Now, for your reactor, cooldown, duration up. This is a gun build with the skill damage coming from our 4th. We're not worried about mounting. We're not worried about skill power. And for our set, we're using the Ascended Armory set. The main reason here we're using the full set is because the ammo it's going to be giving us, and we're going to be using our launcher the majority of the time. We will have our dagger for the bosses, and I do have a malevolent build here that could be used for Serena as well if you're comfortable with it, and also for the other descendants in the game. So that's why we're going to cover that. Now for your cores, once again, of course, you want max HP on everything, and then you want your MP stats on the rest of your components. So moving into our RK tuning here, we are going to be using defense neutralization. We're taking a different route here. We're going to be coming into enhanced max rounds for more rounds for our launcher. And then we're going into multi-hit because we are using the restored relic, which is multi-hit. And you want to be sure you come over here and take these 2 HP mods, as they're great for adding to your overall damage with her HP. Now for our restored relic, triple fire rate, double toxic. Then we are using explosive attack, toxic attack, multi-hit chance, and then I have Legion of Immortality damage, but you can also do multi-hit damage here. Now, for the mods, we are using action and reaction and charge amplification. We are not using rifling and reinforcement. Be aware of that. We're using fire rate up. We have 2 radius mods here with increased radius, ammo optimization. We have our multi-hit mods, multi-piercing sights, multi-percussion sight, and then we have 2 more rounds mods here with expand high power magazine and compulsive high power rounds. And then we have toxic enhancement for our elemental damage. Now, for our last dagger, you're mostly just going to be using this against the bosses throughout the stages. And this is the setup that we chose to use. And for your malevolent, we do have a toxic malevolent here. Like I said, this is good for Serena, but also good for many other descendants. We are still using payout, even though they fixed the bug. This is still a great option for your Purge Challenge stages. And for your inversion reinforcement, you're going to take your toxic focus rounds with your strike point amplification and your aerial maneuvering radar. Now we'll get into our Purge 30 setup. The modules are going to be exactly the same as we were using in Purge Challenge, running on MP Collector with Multi-Talented, bunch of skill costs, our range, our duration, our cooldown, and our 2 HP mods. Now for your reactor, same thing, cooldown and duration up. We're not concerned with mounting here, because we're not doing skill power. We're only doing skill power with our 4th, which is coming from our HP. And we're going to running a 2-piece ascending set here with max HP cores, and then a 2-piece shell crusher with max HP cores for the fire rate. We do not need the full ascending set here because we are not worried about ammo. We have plenty of ammo as we're utilizing the last dagger. Now for your RK tuning, it is different. We are running into multi-hit chance here and multi-hit damage, and we are also using defense neutralization, going this route with overwhelm and our crit hit rate, crit hit damage selections, and then our 2 HP here. And you'll see why we are going with multi-hit here, as we are going to be using 2 daggers. One is going to be specifically for ads. I'm sorry if this is a little confusing, but this is definitely the way to go We're going to be going with multi-hit here on the last dagger. So we're using 2 multi-hit substats, multi-hit chance, multi-hit damage with firearm critical hit damage and firearm critical hit rate. We're doing 1 fire rate core, 1 per rounds per magazine core, a chill with 2 firearm attacks. And then for the module setup, we are still utilizing Firing Fiesta. I know a lot of speedrunners have dropped Firing Fiesta at this point, but I think for the average player running this, specifically in pubs, Firing Fiesta is still a very, very nice module to have on here. We are replacing our weak point here with 2 multi-hit mods, being multi-trigger and multi-piercing trigger. Now, for our other last dagger, this is going to be specifically for Greg. We got chill attack with 2 firearm attacks, 2 fire rates, and then for our substats, our critical hit damage, critical hit rate, firearm attack, and weak point damage. And then our module setup for Greg is going to be Firing Fiesta with Tenacious Hunter, and then our 2 weak point mods, our 2 chill mods, our 2 critical hit damage mods, our action and reaction for our firearm attack, and then a fire rate up mod. Now we'll go over a build with Serena, which is basically her one-shot build. We do have ATAMs on here, but you can use plenty of weapons with this. The reason we're coming back to this is because of the HP cores on our components, which is going to allow us to drop HP from our RK tuning, which we will get to in a second. Now, for your reactor, it really doesn't matter what reactor here. You're going to be one-shotting, one rotating. This is mostly going to be for opening Amorphous throughout the game, so you can get your blueprints. We do have a 2-piece shell crusher on here. It doesn't really matter. I have that there just in case you wanted to use last dagger. If not, you could put a full ascending set on. This build just wrecks. This is going to be a one-shot. The other day on stream, we tried this out. We hit Deathstalker for 185 million in, of course, a full group. As for your weapon, we do have ATAMs here. For a last dagger, I just suggest looking at my recent meta weapons guide. It's going to give you the best last dagger build that you can use for bossing. Here, of course, with this, just match your element to the boss you're fighting. But for most, it won't matter, as you are just killing trash bosses at this point. And for your inversion reinforcement, you're going to go into focus rounds and match the boss. And then, of course, strike point amp and aerial maneuvering rate. And now we'll cover our old Sugma build. It's going to be the same setup we ran for both purges with the mods. For your reactor, cooldown duration up. You're running the ascending set, so you have your max HP and your MP. And of course, you're using this for the ammo when you dash in air, because you get ammo when you reload, and when you dash, you get ammo. For your RK tuning, it's going to be the same exact setup we used in Purge 35. For your inversion reinforcement, you're going to go with fire rounds for Sugma, strike point amp, and aerial maneuvering raider. And then for your weapons, we have a fire restored relic built with a fire element. Other than that, the mods are the same as 35. And then we have a fire last dagger because I'm a nerd and I have everything set up right. And this is the setup for that. And that covers literally everything Serena. Any questions or suggestions about the builds, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe, it's appreciated. Thanks, guys. Peace.